Hello there. In this video, I'll begin to run through already the three states, particular states for the GTG or the node elimination for our NFA to regular expression then for the conversion. So in this case, we will begin to run through with the same, with this particular example that we do have here, which will accept at least BA accordingly, and do have a suffix of any A, or it could be B, it could accept, this one can accept BA at least, then could also accept BAA and BA, B, B, A. So therefore, we do have at least ending of BA. So BA or ending of A, 'di ba? BA and EA. Pwede man siya mag-end BA or EA. So for this one, let's try to run through with the states node elimination. So the first step that we were able to mention in the previous tutorial, that we need to make it as a perfect GTG. So since this is not a perfect GTG right now, what will be the perfect GTG? It must be that all of these states do have a transition to any other states as well, especially for its own state, definitely. So for Q0 to Q0, there must be a null right there, and Q1 to Q1, there must be like that, and Q2 to Q2. There must be something like that. So also checking B to Q0 to Q1, there's a state already, and Q0 to Q2, no state, no transition. So we can just put a transition right now wherein that is null. And then Q0 to Q1, Q1 to Q0, there's no um s- transition, and that is null. And afterwards, Q1 to Q2, there is a transition, and Q1 to Q1, there is a transition already. And Q2 to Q1, there is a transition of A. And Q2 to Q0, there is a transition of B. Q2 to Q2, there is transitions of null. So what we'll begin to run through with this one, we'll begin to check and in this particular formula, and don't you worry in your examination, since this is really long for this formula is really long, and I am also giving you the chance that it will be stated in your examination, actually, to be honest. So I know that this is not simple, this is really complex. I know I want you to really be careful in terms of this one. So say for example, since this is a three states and our goal is to remove the k, when we say k, that is the states that we'll begin to deal with. This is your p. When we say P, that is your initial state. Q is your final state, and K is your state that you wanted to remove. So make sure to always remember that we will begin to follow for only for that particular steps right there. So how can we do it? Let's run through. Let's try to deal with the details Q0 to Q0, Q0 to Q1, and Q0 to Q2. Must be like that. I know, class, that this is really long. However, I you need to step by step the process. This is definitely needed. So I don't want you to be complacent in terms of this, because this is really um sensitive. So let's try to write everything here. So Q1 to Q1, Q1 to Q2, and Q1. Oh, no, no, no. I'm so sorry then. Since K is, we need to remove, I'm so sorry. Remove Q1. Remove Q1. That is our K. So we will not be going to pass by K anymore. You have to just write Q0 to Q0, Q0 to Q2. That's the only thing. And then Q2 to Q0, and Q2 to Q2. Why we're not able to pass by Q1? Because Q1 will be our our state that we'll begin to identify to remove. So make sure to remember that we will not be going to put in our transition planning. The transition here will not be going to indicate those k, since that is our goal that we'll begin to remove with. Okay, so I hope so that it is clear for everybody. How can we do the how can we calculate that one from q0 to q0? This is your P and this is your Q. So your K is Q1. So that's actually how it works. So three for RPQ, so from your Q0, this is your Q0, your P and your Q, okay? So from your P, so that is Q0 to Q0. So P and Q, so that is what transition? Let me change the color. Um from Q0 to Q0, that is PQ, so that is null. Okay. And then afterwards plus, that is a closure, plus RP, then we pass by to the K. What is your state K? That is Q1. So according to that, from P, your P is the initial state, here is Q0. So Q0 to Q1, what will be the transitions that we do have? That is B. So you'll just have to write, and then afterwards it will be a clean star of KK. What will be your K right now that you will begin to remove with? That is the Q1. So what will be the transition from Q1 to the Q1? It will become null. So therefore, null is a um clean star. So, don't you worry, it will be simplified later on, since we do have the simplification rule that you can definitely see right here in the left side of my screen. So, here then after the RKK, there will be the RKQ. So from your K, that is the Q1. So, and go to the Q. What will be the Q? That is your Q0 still. It will matter here, okay, in Q0 to Q0. This is your P and this is your Q. Do not base here because you will, it will be misleading for you then. So, what you will need to do from K, that is Q1 to the Q0, since Q is Q0, so therefore that is null. None. Now, how can we simplify that? If you will begin to deal with a step-by-step process, so let's try to do it step by step so that you can definitely um get the point, because I don't want you to really confuse yourself pertains to this process. So the precedence that we do have here, you will be going the highest precedence in terms of the simplification rule will be the null value with a clean star. So do we do have here the clean star of null, so therefore it will become empty. It will be derived as like this if you will begin to deal with this. No. Let me just delete this. We have to make sure to do it step by step because I don't want you to keep on asking. So null, then B to become empty, then null. So how can we calculate that right now? Since the second highest precedence that we do have will be the concatenation. So the concatenation is the multiplication. So there is actually a null times, we do have the null, then times to the states that you do have B and the string. So what will happen for that one? Actually, class, this empty string, it's not, it's actually okay if you will just if you will not begin to write that, because that is understandable that it will accept empty string. So it can be like this. Nan. Now for this one, b times to the null, it will equates to the null still. So your it will become null plus null, correct? So since r plus null is still R. So suppose that this is your R and this is your null. So it will still be null. So therefore, your answer for this one will become null. Okay. So hope so. that it is really clear. So based on the simplification, it will become null here because as what we have mentioned, the highest precedence is empty for this one, and then the second highest precedence will be the R times the null. It will become null. So null plus the null, it will become R. So it will become null still. So I hope so that it is clear for the Q0 to Q0 then. Now, the next state, Q0 to Q2. Therefore, this will be your new P and this will be your new Q. So from Q0 down to the Q here, then make sure to follow this instruction, Q0 to Q2. So what will be the transition Q0 to Q2? Check that here, it will become null based on your graph, based on your GTG graph that you have identified. Okay, make sure to, if the transition is not complete, you need to create your own GTG. Okay, hope so that it is really clear for everybody. Then this is really confusing if you will not be going to take it seriously. I know that you can do it, class. And afterwards, plus, excuse me, plus the RPK from your P, that is Q0 to the Q1, since that is your K, that is the transition is B. And times, no, yeah, times the RKK, so it will be null still because our Q1 to Q1 is null, then having this clean star. Afterwards, from the clean star, from KK, it will be RKQ. From your K, Q1 to Q2. So it will be A. So sorry. Let me write it clearly. A. Now, so let's try to simplify that in a step-by-step process so that you will really understand how it will be. How can we simplify that one? Based on the rules, the highest precedence will be this clean star. So that will be empty. So it will become empty. No, 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 null, null plus B and empty A. So therefore, right now, concatenation of B and A, it will be the same thing. So it will results to, since we don't have to write the empty string, it will become BA. Now, afterwards, 0 plus the R. So it will become R. So therefore, your resulting value for the regular expression will become BA. So your as you have simplified that one, it will become BA. So I hope so that it is really clear how it will be simplified in a step-by-step manner. So, but it's okay in your calculation. You cannot deal it accordingly in the step-by-step process because it makes you confused. So, I'm just stating the step-by-step here so that you will really know how it is it was processed in our um video. Now, for this one, Q2 to Q0, this is your P and this is your Q. So from Q2 to Q0, what will be the transition Q2 to Q0? So that is B, correct? And from Q2, that is RPK, your P is Q2 and go to the Q1, so that is A. Then Q1 to Q1, that is null clean star. And then from K, go to the Q, that is Q0. So Q1 to Q0, that is null. Okay. Now, for this one, we'll begin to simplify this. So clean star, it will become B plus A, then clean star of null, it will become empty. Then we do have this null. So 8 times the null, it will become B plus null, correct? So we can just, it will become A like this, null. So 8 times the null will become null. So B plus the null, it will become B. So therefore, the answer for this one is B. So hopefully that it is really basic for everybody. I know that the process will takes that takes really long. However, you have to really understand the logic, how it will be calculated, because it will be simple if you really know the process. Now, peer, your new peer and Q. Q2 to Q2. So for this one, RP to Q, that is Q2 to Q2, that is null, equals to the null value, plus RPK from Q2 to to Q1, what will be the process? It is A. Then from Q2, since, no, RKK, that is null, so then clean star. Afterwards, from the state of, sorry, let me check my, okay. Now, from K, Q1 to Q2, that is A. All right. So that is basic. Now, how can we simplify this? We have the highest precedence as clean star. So it will become null value plus the A. It will become empty string, then A. So A times A, it will become AA. 'Di ba? Plus the clean star, it will become R. So it will become still AA. So the resulting value will become AA. So we're done with this one, with this process. So this will be the result. So from that result, we can now draw a new state of NFA. So your state right now will become two state already from Q0 down to the Q2. So therefore, your Q2 is the final state. It will remain as your final state, and your Q0 is your initial state. It will remain as your initial state. So there's nothing, there's no final state, non-final state anymore that we can remove because our goal is to remove any non-final state, and we successfully remove the Q1. So therefore, from Q0 to Q0, we do have null. And then from Q0 to Q2, that is BA. I'm so sorry. My pen, maybe it's on the way to low bat siguro. BA. And then Q2 to Q0 will be B. And then Q2 to Q2 will be A. So that's the um transitions that we do have right now. So since we're done with this, so what we'll begin to do right now, we will use this. No. So sorry. Okay, let me control Z. Okay, there you have it. So we will be going to run through that formula then. So what will be our steps right now? We will be going to use this formula because we already do have two states. I hope so that everything's clear for everybody. That is really organized because were able to deal with that step by step. Now, so we can deal with RII already with a clean star. So what will be RII? So this is your I and this is your J. So what you will need to do from I? So it is I to I, Q0 to Q0. So the transition, this is null, correct? So it will become, this is for two state, okay? There's no removal that will happen. RII, that is clean star, then like this. Then RIJ from Q0 to Q2, that is BA. And then enclosed RJJ, that is Q2 to Q2, AA. And then plus RJI. JI from Q2 to Q0, that is B. And afterwards, clean star of II, that is Q0. So clean star for the null. Then Rij from Q0 to Q2. That is BA. And then clean star. So let's try to see if we can simplify this according to our rules. So we do have clean star here. So that is the highest precedence. It will become empty. So sorry. Empty, then BA, then AA. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to write naman hinoon. A, A plus B, MT, and BA, and clean star. So there's no null anymore. So we can just simply say it is BA, then AA, no, that is A, plus B, B, A, and then this one. So therefore, our regular expression from this NFA that we do have equals BA, then AA plus B, B, A, clean star. So, therefore, let's try to check that one in our graph. I-double check natin if this is good. So, what does it mean? So, minimum requirement, mag-accept siya ng BA, that is acceptable. Second requirement, it leads to, from BA, may postfix siya nga AA. Pwede siya BA, AA, that is acceptable. Then, it could be, BBA. So BA, BA, then BBA. So this is really good. So this is acceptable in terms of our node elimination for the three states. So in the next video, we will be going to run through with four states. Hopefully that you understand how it is being calculated. Thank you so much, everybody, and goodbye.